Hi everyone, thanks for being with me again. And can I just encourage you to subscribe to my channel, ring the bell for further notifications, do whatever you need to do in order to improve my subscriptions. It doesn't cost you anything and it would be great. So thank you very much. I'm going to talk a little bit today about Greta Thunberg because, you know, no matter whether we like the fact that a teenager originally, she's no longer a teenager, but a teenager made a stand against what was happening in the climate and certainly represented her age demographic in a way which encouraged a lot of people to think about climate change, what it meant to young people, what they were going to inherit when old people like us pass away. And what sort of conditions were we leaving them once, if climate change was allowed to continue, and that if we continued to pollute the planet. So Greta is somebody that, like her or not, generates a lot of discomfort for people who are on the right of politics. And so when Greta chose to occupy the flotilla and head off to Gaza, she generated a lot of interest because people were interested in what she had to say. She made the headlines. She encouraged us again to look at Gaza at a time when we were probably distracted, that there are other issues in the world that were concerning us. And so Gaza became less and less significant. It shouldn't have been. It is a very significant issue, but we were kind of gazing elsewhere, I guess, when perhaps we should have been looking at what was happening there. So she was able to regain our focus on what was happening in Gaza. But what interests me is the way the right wing resent Greta to the point whereby it is tainted with hatred. And it disappoints me to know that there are people who feel that way about the efforts that Greta and others had made, not just her, but there were a number of people on the flotilla who were thinking and feeling the same that she did. Some of them very high profile. So high profile, I didn't know who they were until it was mentioned in the news. But nevertheless, the right hate her. And there was this clip from Shari Markson, which just reminds us, I think, or reminds me at least, what a terrible, terrible, disgraceful human being Shari Markson is. And I'm going to play a little bit of that clip for you now so that you can share in my absolute disdain for this woman.
And it's so long, farewell and goodbye to Greta Thunberg as she is shown the door by Israel and officially deported out of the country. As you may have heard, Greta Thunberg has refused to watch the 45 minutes of footage of Hamas massacring innocent Israeli families on October 7. And that tells you everything you need to know about Greta and her group of self-obsessed attention seekers. Because
I think, you know, like, frankly, if you want to look at someone who's self-obsessed attention seeker, Shari Markson is the top of the list, I can assure you.
That footage shows children being murdered in their cots, women being mutilated, and parents being killed right in front of their loved ones. It's too graphic to broadcast on air, and I do think that's a shame.
Oh, for God's sake. I can't believe that she actually said that she was in favour of showing horrific videos of women, children and others being mutilated. That she thinks that showing that on free-to-air television, or on any television station for that matter, is appropriate, says all that there's to say about this despicable human being.
But one of my guests tonight, the Australian's editor-at-large, Paul Kelly, watched it just over a week ago when he was in Israel. I'm going to speak to him about his trip.
Right, so I'm not going to indulge Shari any further, nor am I going to watch anyone that she has on her program. But what I am going to say is that why. So there's this video of what happened, and I'm sure it's horrific, and no excuses for Hamas. In fact, I'm over talking about how we should feel about the horribles of October the 7th, 2023. It was terrible, should never have happened, but it did. But since then, there's been this continual massacre where over 50,000 people, mostly women and children, have been killed in Gaza. And the denial. So on one hand, we have Shari upset that for whatever reason Greta didn't refuse to see this video. I would refuse to see it. I don't need to see it. Most of us would probably have refused to see it. We don't need to. But what about, look, Shari, I'd like you to sit down and for just 45 minutes watch all the videos of the indiscriminate bombing that happens in Gaza by the IDF, and the number of children that have had their legs amputated because of the injuries that have occurred, the number of children now that are orphaned because their parents have been murdered, the degree to which hospitals have been destroyed, schools have been bombed, and the massacre that is Gaza just continues on and on and on. So what happened when Hamas attacked attacked Israel is one thing. The problem for me is, why don't we get this in perspective? Why can't we see? Why can't you see? Why are you so stupid that you think that this one event, which is horrible, which created the invasion of Gaza and the ensuing assault on innocent people can be dismissed, is insignificant to you? A reasonable person would think, well, there are two sides to this story. Both are crappy. Let's not dismiss the other side. The fact that the IDF are just a murderous bunch of cowards. Let's not forget them. Let's not forget those people that the IDF have willingly killed. Let's look at this in proportion. But no, they don't. They don't care. People like Shari Markson are so embedded in the IDF propaganda that they can't see what is actually happening in Gaza. And I find it incredible that clearly an intelligent woman, yet a little bit imbalanced maybe, can't see that. So it makes me wonder whether or not she believes that her public, the people that watch Sky News, need to be told this stuff over and over again. Firstly, attack Greta Thunberg, that seems to be a theme. And secondly, to deny what happened or has happened since October the 7th. That we must continue, it appears to me, to deny that reality. It's shameful. It's distortions. It's distorting what has happened, and it is propagating a narrative that is, I think, destructive. Let me know what you think in the section below, in the comment section below. Please ring the bell for further notifications, and let me know what you think. In the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.